So Larry Page and Sergey Brin met at Stanford they were on a grant from, believe it or not, the National Science Foundation as graduate students. Larry Page invented a algorithm called PageRank, and he and Sergey wrote a paper, which is still one of the most cited papers in the world. And so they wrote this code. I don't think they were that good a set of programmers. They sort of did it. They had a computer. They ran out of power in their dorm room, so they borrowed the power from the dorm room next to and plugged it in, and they had their data center in the bedroom, in the dorm. Classic story. And then they moved to a building that was owned by the sister of a girlfriend at the time, and that's how they founded the company. Their first investor was the founder of Sun Microsystems, whose name was Andy Bechtolsheim, who just said, "I'll just give you the money because you're obviously incredibly smart."
How much did he give him?
$100,000. So the founders then set up in this little house in Menlo Park, which ultimately we bought at Google, as a museum. And they set up in the garage, and they had Google World headquarters in neon made, and they had a big headquarters with the 4 employees that were sitting below them and the computer that Larry and Sergey had built. Larry and Sergey were very, very good software people and obviously brilliant, but they were not very good hardware. And so they built the computers using corkboard to separate the CPUs. And if you know anything about hardware generates a lot of heat, and the corkboard would catch on fire. So eventually, when I showed up, we started building proper hardware with proper hardware engineers. But it gives you a sense of the scrappiness that was so characteristic. And today, there are people of enormous impact on society. And I think that will continue for many, many years.